Now let's talk about a linear quadratic system of inequalities. When we're working with inequalities, that means we're going to have a range of answers. So inequalities is indicating that we will have a range. Like not just one answer, it'll be a whole bunch of answers. So there'll be infinitely many answers, and we represent the solutions by shading. And the reason we shade is because when you shade, you're actually plotting a bunch of points. And so if you plot infinitely many points all together, it will look like you're actually coloring it in. So we're going to solve this on Desmos. You can type it in, pull the problem back over here. Too far. Here it is. Okay. And then this will drive me nuts. Okay, so I will type in y is greater than x squared plus 6x minus 12. Notice it says y is greater, so there's a dashed line, which means that the points on the parabola are not included, but the points just above and just below are included. And then also shaded the top region because it's saying it's the points all above or above the parabola. And let me reset it. Okay, and probably zoom out a little bit so I can see the parabola a little better. Then let me graph the function 3x minus y is greater than or equal to negative 8. And also notice when I say greater than or equal to, you get a solid line because we want to include the points on the line. So then we're asked, what is the overall solution? The overall solution is the place where the two shaded regions overlap. So the solution is everything right here. So all of the points in here would make both inequalities true. And let me show you what I mean by that. So I can just pick any point in here and it's going to make true statements for both of these. So if I pick the point in there called 0, 0, well then 0, 0 means I should be able to substitute in 0 for x, 0 for y, and it will make both inequalities true. So let's try that. 0, 0, 0. So on the top, I would have 0 is greater than 0 plus 6 times 0, which is 0 minus 12. Is 0 greater than negative 12? Yes, that's true. Okay, now let's try it in the bottom. I'll put a 0 here and a 0 there. Is 3 times 0 minus 0 greater than or equal to negative 8? Well, 3 times 0 is 0 minus 0. Is 0 greater than or equal to negative 8? Yes, that's true. So all of these points in here will make both true. If they're not inside, it won't make both of them true. But if I were to pick a point in the red, it would only make the bottom inequality true. If I were to pick a point in here, it would only make the quadratic part true. But we want the points, these points in here will make both inequalities true at the same time. Example 5 says solve the equation by writing a linear quadratic system and solve the equation using the graphing feature of your calculator. So this is an equation, but there's only one variable x. And so that means that my solution is only going to have x's in it, but I'm going to solve it by graphing. So to solve it by graphing, I can make an equation. So I'll make an equation I'll make a system from one equation. So I'll make the left side one equation, and then I will make the right side the other equation. So I'm going to graph y equals the left side, 3x squared minus 7x plus 4. Then I'm going to graph y equals the left side, y equals 9 minus 2x. And then I'm going to graph those and see where they intersect. But since there's only one variable, then the x values, because it could be 0, 1, or 2, are the solutions of the equation, not the y's. So I'm going to graph both. Oops. Need to see the equation though. Let's graph both. Y equals 3x squared minus 7x plus 4. Then I'm going to graph y equals 9 minus 2x. And I'm going to erase the ink that I had on there before. Okay, so I see that there are some intersections. I'm going to zoom in. I have 2 intersection points, but the only solutions are the x values. So I am going to write that x is approximately negative 0.703 and x is approximately 2.37. Sometimes Math Excel is going to ask you to give 3 decimal places or even more. So remember to get an extra decimal place. To get an extra decimal place, you should be able to zoom in and you see more decimal places. There we go. If you zoom in, you'll be able to see more decimal places for the intersection point.